Hi everyone, we hope that you're having a great morning. Today we'll be analyzing the Sky Blue Ball made by Joyce Carol Oates, in which, based on our previous discussion, we will be discussing today more about the symbols inside the story and the way that the narrator expresses herself, and make a quick transition from a glowing period of time to a more rough and dark time at the end of the story. So, would you like to begin, Andrea?
Yes, and like we can see, we chose to analyze question number one that includes the narrator. It says the narrator believes her true self is lonely because, and we chose to answer letter A, that is, she doesn't understand who she is, because on the story we can see that it says, and I quote, "In a long ago time when I seemed often to be alone and imagine myself lonely. Yes, this is your true self, alone, lonely," end quote. It literally says that she feels alone and lonely is because of all the changes that have been taking place in her life. And this also connects with the fact that she is like scared to grow and be a teen. She like to be a kid, and she isn't anymore. And
And
so
and
yes.
and not only that, but in psychological terms, when a kid make a transition from the childhood to the um, uh, adolescent period, if we can say it like that, they experience a lot of existential questions, if we can say it like that, mainly because all of the changes that have been happening. In this case, the maturity that they acquire over time, in comparison of the liberty that they used to have.
Yeah,
Okay.
this question is totally directly connected to the number 7 that we're going to analyze now. And it says, for the narrator, the game of catch represents, and we chose the letter C, an unexpected return to childhood. We found the next quote. Can you change?
Yes, sorry.
So in the paragraph 12, we can see, sorry, we can see that back then, well, I quote, back then I ran to the wall, that both my knees through bone with pain, and I was shaking as if shivering. There had grown cold. A shaft of cloud had pierced the sun. In this part, it's connect to the question Andrea analyzed, that when she was growing, she had like these questions of who she really was and who she was really becoming. And it's the kind of unexpected return to childhood that she's having back and forth.
Yes.
Yes, in
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mary, it also mentions like she's saying to herself like, this isn't how a 14-year-old should do, like how she should um
How like she has
to
to
be.
be at that particular age. Yes.
Yes, yeah, like she's having all these questions about who who should she be. And yes, also another important symbol is the ball. It fully represents her childhood, and it it is a similar or symbol she had as a child, and it causes joy to her life in this particular moment. And when she lost it, it was like very um, traumatic. I like she felt pretty sad. But when she finds it, it is very exciting for her because in the story we can see at the last paragraph that that it says, and I quote, and at last, after long minutes of searching in a heat of indignation, I discovered the ball in a patch of chicory. It was no longer sky blue, but faded and creaked. Its tan-colored rubber showed through the Venus cracked surface, like my own ball years ago. Yes, I snatched it up in triumph and squeezed it and smelled it. It smelled of nothing, of the earth, of the sweating palm of my own hand, end quote. It, it says that she was like very excited. It was like the ball she had as a kid, only like it was not colored anymore. But she snatched it up in triumph and because she was very excited. And
I also found very interesting this point that you are mentioning about the ball, because even though the ball represents like her childhood and all the memories she had when she was a kid, it's also like kind of painful having to know that she's growing up and she's becoming a teenager or an adult and having like these memories becoming memories and not like the present of what she's living.
Yes, and at the end, I believe that that is something common in teenagers, more like in ourselves, since we are almost turning 18. I don't know if you're almost turning 18, but in a few years we're turning 18 and we are going to face all these responsibilities and not having this economical liberty that we used to have when we were living with our parents and stuff. I think that we can relate it more with, well, at least I related more with what I think that I'm going to feel when I realize that I am growing up and that I am like living inside the society and not inside my own bubble.
And yes, and that is all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for hearing our oral commentary. And yes, thank you very much.